So hello you guys and welcome back to my channel. My uploading schedule right now on YouTube is kind of weird, I'm aware. I know we haven't seen the final episode of The Walking Dead yet of season 10. We haven't seen episode 16 of season 10 yet. So I guess this video, it'll probably change a bit once episode 16 is aired. But for now, at this point in time, I thought I would do a video of my top 5 moments from this season. Now in the past I've done quite a few top 5 moments. I think most of them were on Patreon. It was like a series I did. But it's been like 2 years, so we'll start at 5 and we'll work our way down. Wow. Look at me having actual structure in a video. Number 5 for me would have to be the radio. Everything that surrounds the radio this season has just been interesting. It's been this kind of back story, I guess, that's just kind of, it hasn't really been front and center, but what we have seen of it, it seems absolutely fascinating. It was this little thing that we saw all along, and then only in the last 2 or 3 episodes it became really prevalent and really serious. But seeing Eugene talk and kind of flirt and have this thing with somebody online, it furthered his character for one, given the fact we got to see him reject Rosita, and then like that whole storyline then fizzled out and came to an end. But yeah, getting to see him talk to somebody, and then that led us to going out and trying to meet them. So it raises a lot of questions, like who's on the other end of the radio? Can we trust them? How big is their community? Do they have resources? Are they in contact with other people? There's so much. But it opens up this whole other world and this whole other little door that all along it was just kind of like, I mean, like, I guess it was, because when the satellite fell, Eugene needed pieces off of it for the radio, and then it's been the kind of storyline that has been there throughout the whole season. It's been there for a while, but it got, like, important in more recent episodes. But I enjoyed it. And I hope that Eugene finds love, you know? It seems like he did hit it off with the person on the radio. They were sharing personal backstories and stuff, and I like that. And Eugene seems to really like this person, so fingers crossed for all the best for him. 4 for me on the list would be the fire at Hilltop around episode 11 and 12. I said it while we were watching the episodes. The flaming bows and arrows and stuff, and the absolute chaos that scene had. It was like, it was one of those, you didn't even know what to say, you didn't know where to look kind of moments. There was so much coming at you from all different angles. It was dramatic, it was visually, it was beautiful. Yeah, that's definitely number 4 for me. It was one of the standout moments. Storyline wise, yes, it was very important, but visually, definitely one of the standouts for me. Number 3 on my list would be the Negan and the Brendan scenes. The scenes that they shared together were, they were something else. Now, I have talked about Negan extensively in other videos, and I think I did kind of a video just on him in general. But I feel like Brandon brought, is it Brandon or Brendan? I don't fucking know. I'm gonna call him Brandon, because I'm guessing if it was Brendan, I would have remembered, because I'd have been like, haha, like Brendan Urie. So I'm guessing it's Brandon. He was this kind of like embodiment of temptation, of you can go back to being what you once were, you know? He symbolized everything that Negan once loved and Negan once stood for. Now, that will be argued, I know. As soon as those words left my mouth, I could just feel people in the comments going, no, Negan was never that savage. But he did embody everything that Negan was, you know, or strove to be. And I feel like when you put someone like Brandon in this new world, in this new setting that we've gotten used to, and then you show what Negan once would have gone for, it's crazy. And it seemed so outlandish and so like, what the fuck? And then he killed the family, and it was like, ah, dude, you've just sealed your own fucking death wish. But that brought out some really good moments for Negan, you know? Having him sit down, seeing him talk to the kid, you know, seeing him talk to the woman, seeing him then come to blows with Brandon and realize what he had to do. It was really interesting to watch. And being honest, like, it was one of those moments where it was like, I wasn't really sure how he was going to respond to that. I wasn't really sure how he was going to take that. He could have gone with Brandon. He could have been like, all right, cool, I have a sidekick, I'll start with you, we'll build it up. And he could have tried to build up a following somewhere. He could have skipped town, left. And now you'll have people arguing again, no, he couldn't have. Literally, he was out on his own. He could have literally, now I'm not talking about morally, or I'm not talking about like, would it be smart plan-wise? I mean, he could have walked off by himself with Brandon. He could have done that. But he didn't. So it was just interesting watching that play out and watching him come face to face with stuff. Seeing the pure kind of absolute crazy evil that still exists in the world. Or the delusion, I suppose, that still does exist in the world. It was just interesting to see. Negan's been killing it this season anyway. Number 2 on my list is without a doubt Princess. She fucking killed it. She came in bubbly, and her little demonstration of mannequin walkers? she's really something, and she'd that big fluffy puffy jacket. But then, like, I did say this in a video before, she reminds me a bit of Ezekiel. She's this over the top crazy character that's like larger than life, but then you get to the core of her. She's just a fucking person, you know? And I like that we got there really fast with her, that it was like episode 2, it was her second episode, because we saw her very briefly at the end of one episode, and then the one after that then was pretty much centered around her. I like that we got into that core of who she is very quickly, because with characters like that, it's so easy for them to become like aloof and kind of like the laughing stock, unrealistic character, if that makes sense. So her kind of establishing herself as, no, like, I'm a human being, I have fucking feelings, I have a backstory, this is why I am the way that I am, you know? I have baggage, basically. It really just kind of rooted her in some realism, and it cemented her as somebody who's going to be probably one of my favourites to watch in upcoming episodes. I've just realised how absolutely fucking warm I am right now. Jesus, Mary and Joseph, what degree is it here? It's only 15 degrees, but it feels like the sun. Like, why is it so fucking hot? But yeah, Princess being brought into it, it feels like, I feel like it's given us a little kick. It's given us a little something that we were missing, you know? And I know she's going to be the type of character that people either love or hate. And one on my list, the best moment of the season for me, personally, has to be Alpha's death. Can you guys hear that fucking truck? Are you trying to drive through my door? What's the deal? Alpha's death was just everything about it, the lead up, how it actually happened. Everything about that scene to me was just perfection. I adored it. I loved that it was Negan. Technically it was Carol because she let Negan out to go do this, but like that's just getting into the nitty gritty of it, you know. But I loved that it was Negan slitting her throat when he had his throat slit by Rick, except the difference is here he beheaded her and was like, yeah, no, you don't get to live. And then all of the story that comes after that with fucking Beta carrying her head around the place and then making a mask out of her fucking face. It's just, yeah, I thought it was so weird, and it was so kind of full circle to see who would have been our public enemy number one, you know, Negan, back in the day. I know there's still a lot of people that hate him, I know, but seeing Negan be the one to kill our bad guy is like, I loved it. I absolutely fucking loved it. I'm not so sure how I felt about the flashes where Alpha was talking to Carol, the episode after that, being totally honest. I mean, like, I don't know, I feel like flashes or like visions can work or they can't. In this example, like, yeah, it did work, but I don't know. You know, Carol kind of seeing her and having that moment in the woods, I get why that happened for Carol, but I'm like, I just don't know. But her death in itself, loved it. And Karma is a bitter motherfucker, and that baldy little bitch ended up on a spike, and I was like, mwah! Beautiful. Some honourable mentions that I didn't include would be definitely the cave. Everything that surrounded the cave, I loved that storyline. I thought we got some seriously heart-pounding moments with that. Of course, that raises the question, what's the deal with Connie? Where has she gone? We know she skipped over to Eternals for a little bit. She'll probably be back at some point. I do not believe she's dead. I'm just putting that out there. She has been far too fascinating to watch this season. Way too important. I don't think she's dead. They will bring her back. I'm just like, when? The cave as well set up for that little bit of tension between Daryl and Carol, and I think it was a little bit of a snapping point, hopefully, for Carol. Maybe she might have learned something from that. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. She's been making some questionable decisions this season. Beta's backstory was something I also very much enjoyed seeing. Yes, we had it kind of confirmed or hinted at in Fear the Walking Dead. When it comes to hints and stuff like that, I don't know how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Because if you put a hint somewhere, it's not just going to be a hint, because you're going to have people online dissecting it, like, you know, with videos like this, or posting it all over Twitter. So when it's finally revealed, like officially, it doesn't feel like that much of a reveal, because people have been talking about it for fucking weeks. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm glad that we did finally get that bit of confirmation with Beta as to who he is, where he came from. That small little bit of backstory to kind of root him in reality a little bit more, because he's like 7 foot tall. He talks in really deep grunts and he's scary. So it's nice to humanize him a little bit. Motherfucker was just a little tender-hearted country singer before all this, although country singers can be some of the craziest. I mean, they sing about slashing your tires and, you know, driving around in your fucking, your tractors and shit. Something else as well that I haven't seen yet, but I just know it's going to be one of my favourite things to see is Maggie. She's coming back, I believe it's next episode. I think it's episode 16 of season 10. So I just want to see how the fuck she comes back into society. How she deals with Negan being out and about because, hello, you know, he can be redeemed to a certain point. He can be accepted to a certain point, but Maggie will never ever forgive him or accept him. And if she does, that is some questionable decision making. Because I don't think she'll ever forgive him. I mean, if that was me and someone bashed my boyfriend's head in, one, I would have hunted them down until I cracked their skull with my own two bare hands, and that's being honest. Two, no fucking way would I ever be like, no, okay, you've changed, you can come be one of us. So it's going to be interesting to see how she deals with him being around and being there. It's been so long since we've seen her that I'd like to see what change has happened with her. It's going to be nice getting somebody like her back, because I feel like we've lost a lot of our older cast. So it's going to be nice getting somebody like her back. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how she fits in, how she handles the way things are, going these fucking days. She's missed a lot. Or do you think maybe there's somebody writing to her on the sly, filling her in on everything? Here's the drama, here's the tea for this week, okay? You're going to want to be sitting down because it involves a cave and a love triangle. So, those were just some of my favourite moments so far from what we've seen. I know there's probably going to be a lot of moments on this that you guys mightn't agree with, or there might be things I missed or didn't put on, but that's just what stands out to me right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you want to check out my Patreon for more content, the link to that is down below. Jesus Christ, this is going to be a mouthful to get through. Right, over on Patreon currently, there's ongoing reactions to throwback episodes of The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Anne with an E, Lucifer, Peaky Blinders, The 100, Doctor Who, Telltale's The Walking Dead gameplay, Ash vs Evil Dead, movie reactions, live streams, and some upcoming videos as well that I will be starting over there is reactions to Scam and reactions to Westworld. So they're not there yet, and they mightn't be there for another week or two, but they'll be starting up soon enough. There's a lot going on. The link to that is in the description should you want to check it out, and the link to my Twitter is also down below too. Dude, a wasp the size of my fucking fist just smacked into my window. Get fucked. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing alright wherever you are in the world. I hope you're doing okay. We're getting through it. Slowly but surely we are getting fucking through it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you all soon.